Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and today we are going to be talking about trucking myths part 2 of the video. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, check out part 1, super cool information. But today we're going to be discovering different truck myths that we didn't talk about in part 1 of the video. And I want you to see in the comments below, do you believe the truck myths, do you not? And maybe you have some other truck myths of your own that we can actually bust out for you, right? So let's get started. All right, so the first myth in this video that we're going to be talking about is going to be trucking is easy and anyone can do it. So you're going to think, hey, I'm just driving a truck. I could drive a car pretty easy. All I got to do is hold the steering wheel and go straight and everything's a-okay. Now, the one thing you have to understand is trucking is not easy, right? Not everybody who goes to medical school becomes a doctor. Not everyone who goes to trucking school becomes an actual truck driver. There's a lot of people who actually go through the process itself. Even though we try to make it as simple as possible, they get to the test day, they get super nervous, and we've had people say this is the hardest test they've ever had to take in their life. Now, unfortunately, we're not the ones who can actually modify the test or change the test. This is going to be a federal guideline test, which means we have to follow their rules. It is a pretty difficult test. And just because you can drive a truck does not mean that you can actually get yourself a CDL license. Now, like I said, not everyone who starts truck driving school becomes a truck driver because it's not for everyone. What makes this thing so difficult? When you're driving a big tractor trailer, the main thing you have to understand is the weight and the size of this thing. This thing can be up to 80,000 pounds and it can be over 75 feet long. That being said, it's going to take extra skill to understand how to maneuver that thing safely to get from point A to point B. Driving straight is not as hard, right? But driving that thing backwards gets things a whole lot more complicated. But the cool thing is, once you come to the best CDL school in the entire country, we can help you out with all of that stuff. The hardest part for a lot of people in order to pass the CDL road test is going to be the first part of the test, which is going to be how to inspect both the inside and outside of the vehicle. So we're going to show you an exact word-for-word script on exactly what you should say and how to inspect the entirety of the vehicle so you can pass that portion of the test. From there, we're going to go into part 2 of the test, which is about parking. And then from there is going to be part 3, which is driving the truck on the road itself. But think about it. Think how hard it was to learn how to drive your car and how much smaller it is than a tractor trailer. Now, learning how to drive a tractor trailer, how to shift, how to look at your mirrors, how to back up, and do all that stuff, not an easy thing to do. It's even harder to be a professional at it unless you have the great coaching and great schooling, and that's what we're here for. The next myth that we're going to be talking about is truck drivers are unsafe on the road. So, one thing you do have to understand is that truck drivers are considered professionals once they actually get onto the road and get themselves a CDL license. And the one thing you do have to understand is, in order for a truck driver to actually be driving a truck today, they were mandated by the federal government that they had to get certified by a school. That means you're not going to have any people that are on the road, as long as they did it legally, of course, that were not trained by a school prior to doing it, right? A lot of people driving a car probably didn't even go to school to learn how to drive a car. They were taught by their buddy or their cousin or their uncle or anything like that. Being a professional truck driver is serious business, and that's why they have to go to school. That's why they're going to be held to a higher standard. Now, are there going to be bad eggs in the carton or bad apples in the bushel, as they say? In that case, you are going to understand there's going to be good drivers and bad drivers. But to say that all truck drivers are unsafe, I don't think that's a fair thing to say, because at the end of the day, they went to school for it, they studied, and they clearly passed the test in order to show the U.S. government or the state DMV that they can actually drive a tractor trailer safely, or else they wouldn't be on the road unless they actually pass those minimum requirements. So just think about that. All right, the next myth that we're going to just blow out of the park is going to be there's no room for a career growth in trucking. So a lot of people think, okay, I'm just going to be a truck driver and that's what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Now, there are people who just love driving that much and that's what they want to do, which more power to them, right? Like I said, you're not going to make all your money in trucking the very first year because you have no experience. Once you have 2 years, 3 years experience, then you'll start seeing a big increase in your salary, and the longer you stay in it, the more money you will make. Simply because your risk is going to drop, which means your insurance costs continue to drop. That means that the company can afford to pay you more because there's less expenses to keep you on as a driver with their company. So that's pretty much how it works on the back end. Now, let's talk about career growth. There's 2 main paths that you can grow out of being a driver. Path number 1 is going to be the corporate path. So there's a huge amount of companies out there that have thousands of trucks, which means that a lot of guys get in as a driver and then all of a sudden they want to stop driving and they kind of want to raise up the corporate ladder. So for instance, companies like Warner and Schneider and Swift, and things like that, they all have huge infrastructures of people who work in the office, like dispatchers, supervisors, managers, safety managers, everybody all the way up to the CEO. The guy who runs Warner was a truck driver when they first started. So you have to understand, imagine his growth path. He started as a truck driver. He worked his way all the way up to becoming the CEO of a multi-million dollar company. I think last time I checked, they had like 12,000 trucks out on the road. So it all starts off with having your CDL license and understanding who the drivers are. Now, if you're somebody who's a little bit more entrepreneurial, you can actually grow a whole lot with your CDL license as well. You can start off as a truck driver for a company, learn the ropes, understand how the trucking business works, then you can start your own business. You can grow as high as you want to grow, right? It's like we talked about, there's a lot of companies out there that have 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3, up to thousands of trucks. And all it takes is for you to understand the knowledge of how to run a business, how to get enough consistent sales coming in, which means getting contracts and loads to work, and then how to find the right drivers. And that all starts off by you having your CDL license. So if you want to grow in your career, I don't really know any other career that gives you the ability to grow as fast or as high as this one does itself. And the beautiful thing is, it's fully in your control, and you get to decide exactly what you want to do. Alright, and the last myth in this part 2 of the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you please do, is going to be that truck drivers are unhealthy. All of them are just fat and unhealthy. Now, there is a special syndrome that is going on that's called the no ass syndrome. And what that means is that a lot of truck drivers, when you see them get out of their truck, they're going to have no ass and they're going to have a big belly because their butt went to the belly itself. Now, does that to say all truck drivers are like that? Absolutely not. Now that health is getting more and more frequently spoken about, and different health choices are going to be more and more readily available, you're going to see a lot more people being fit with trucking itself. We actually did a whole video on how you can work out right outside the truck or inside your truck, and all you got to do is do this 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and you will be fit and ready to rock and roll. Now, in order to be healthy, pretty much you need 3 things. 1, eat the right foods and the right quantity of foods. 2, make sure you exercise enough, move your body. And 3, get the proper sleep. As a truck driver, if you are not healthy, it's because you made wrong choices, just like anybody else. So if you fully understand that, being healthy or not healthy is completely up to you. Now, are there a lot of unhealthy truck drivers out there? 100%. But we're in the great country of America, which means there's a lot of unhealthy people, period. Super important you understand that the choice is yours. You get to decide that. So if you like this video, make sure you like the video itself. If you now want to get yourself into the career, maybe I said something that interests you, just find out if it's for you. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Find a location near you and give them a call. They can help you out any which way. We're open up 7 days a week. And if you can't find any location near you specifically, we are planning to open up more locations nationwide. The best thing for you to do is contact our Linden, New Jersey office. They can help you out no matter where you are in the country. One more time, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.